everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to do just a gentle yoga flow, so not anything too strenuous, but something hopefully that will help us to open the chest, maybe release some tension from the neck and shoulders, and just kind of give ourselves a little bit of a break from daily life, all those crazy thoughts going through your head. Let's give the monkey mind a break. One little thing I wanted to mention at the beginning, this class does have a few optional props. A yoga blanket, like this. But if you don't have a yoga blanket, you can use a towel for what we're going to do. But if you're doing this, you don't have a towel handy, you can just skip the towel part of it. And the other thing is we're going to be doing some Gomukhasana arms, and you don't have to have anything in your hands, but sometimes a strap is helpful. And if you don't have a yoga strap at home, you can use pretty much anything. You can use a scarf, just drop that behind your back for Gomukhasana, or if you have any exercise or PT bands at home, you're just really looking for something that makes your arms a little bit longer that you can hold on to. So if you have some of those and you'd like to go get them, go ahead and press pause. I'll be here when you get back. And then we'll get started. All right, so for the beginning of this, we're gonna start laying on our backs. But what I thought we'd do is just give ourselves a little gentle chest opener. So unfold your blanket so it's at least as wide as your mat. And then we're gonna roll it up, or you can do the same thing with your towel. Then we're gonna take this and put it across our mats. And then we're going to lay down on it with, so that it's kind of just below the arms, kind of right underneath the shoulder blades, so that when we lay back, the arms can reach out long, and it's just a little chest opener. And as always, feel free to adjust this to your level of comfort. And if for some reason this doesn't feel good today for your neck or your chest or your back, just remove the blanket. We're just gonna do a little bit of breathing here, and this is just a little bit of a heart opener. But if it's not accessible today, you can just lay on your back. And for now, the legs can extend or the knees can be bent. And you can just close your eyes. Just take a couple of deep breaths, just allowing yourself to settle onto your mat. Trouble focusing on your breath at the beginning of this class, we're going to start to do an equal ratio breath, where we're inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for 4. So on your next inhale, just breathe in and just count to yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale for the same amount. See if we can match the length of the inhale and the exhale. So on your next exhale, breathing out for 4. And then we'll just continue that breath. So inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. As we do that, allowing things to soften, to relax. And as you breathe, if you decide that 4 is not quite long enough and you'd like to extend the breath a little bit longer, you can inhale for a count of 5 or 6. But we'll just do a few more. Just kind of allowing ourselves a center at the beginning of class, to check in. Just to allow ourselves to slow down. the best of times, our minds tend to go a million miles an hour. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of focused concentration to kind of let that relax a little bit. Let's do 2 more deep breaths with this equal ratio. And then from here, we're going to, you can just move your prop off to the side. We probably won't need it again, except maybe at the end of class. And then we're going to roll down onto our backs. And then just hug the knees into the chest. So just rocking a little bit side to side here, maybe making some circles with the knees. Just allowing the lower back to stretch out. And then from here, we're going to find some stillness with the hips. So the pelvis goes flat onto the floor, and we're going to begin to circle the knees now independently of one another. So we're circling from our hip joints. So you can keep the hands on the knees. If you prefer a little bit more work for the core and the hip muscles, you can release the hands down. And then make sure that you move in the opposite direction. All right. So from here, we're going to go ahead and bring the knees back in and take the legs up to the sky. And from here, the legs don't have to be straight. That's a function of your hamstrings. We're just going to point and flex the feet a couple of times. And then circling through the ankles. And then we're going to take the hands and interlace them behind the right leg. So you might need to bend that right leg a little bit more. And the left leg will just lower all the way down to the mat. Take a couple of breaths here, just kind of checking in with the hamstrings, this space in the back of the leg. We're going to switch legs. So we'll take the left leg up, right leg down. Couple of breaths here. You might notice a difference between sides, and that's not necessarily good or bad. It's just information for you. So let's take another deep breath here. Nice long exhale. And then we're going to begin to move the legs with our breath. So on your inhale, right leg comes up, left leg goes down. And on your exhale, we're going to see if we can lift the chest up, nose in the direction of the knee, and like I said, this knee can bend. And then inhale, release down, switch legs. Exhale, round up, nose to knee. Inhale, switch. Do a couple more, just warming up the core a little bit, getting some blood moving. Really trying to keep that awareness with our breath. All right, let's do one more each side. And then go ahead and bring the feet down. Bend the knees, and we'll begin to move into some bridge pose, just a little flowing bridge. When we are stressed or scared or worked up, our body naturally kind of goes into this little defensive posture where the shoulders round forward and we start to hunch and kind of close ourselves off. So what we're doing with this bridge pose, and maybe with a couple of other poses during class today, is trying to open that back up, just like we did in the beginning with that gentle chest opener. So we're going to take the arms down by our side, and they can be arms long, or you can bend the elbows and do some robot arms here with the fingertips pointing up towards the sky. We're going to take a nice deep breath. Nice long exhale. And then on your next inhale, we're going to press the feet down and lift the hips up. At the same time, we're trying to press down with the upper arms and the shoulders so we can get a little extra lift behind the heart. And then on your exhale, just release it back. So we're going to do a few of these, just moving with our breath. So on your inhale, you'll lift up. Exhale. Bring it down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Let's do 3 more of these, just moving with your breath. Go ahead and release. Bring everything back down. We'll hug the knees into the chest once again. You can rock a little bit side to side. So we're going to take the knees up into the chest, and we're going to rock back and forth along the spine. Now, if that feels too much, you can always roll to one side and press yourself up. But either way, we're going to make our way to our hands and knees. So if you have that blanket or towel close by, you can put it underneath your knees or maybe under your wrists if you need a little extra cushion. But once we get into this hands and knees position, we're just going to circle the hips a little bit. So moving however it feels good. So you can circle through the hips, you can move through the neck, the shoulders, the spine, anything that feels good. Make sure if you're circling that you circle in the opposite direction. All right. Just taking a moment to kind of explore what feels good in your body, maybe move in some different directions. And then we'll come to a neutral spine. So the shoulders are over the wrists and the hips are over the knees. We'll take a nice deep breath. And then on your exhale, you're going to tuck the tailbone down. We're going to draw the belly button up. We're going to press ourselves away from the mat with our hands. Coming into cats. And then on your next inhale, lift the tail, let the belly drop, roll the shoulders back. Reach the heart forward for cat. And then we'll just do a couple of these with our breath. So nice deep breath. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale into cat. Just moving with your breath, allowing your spine to move for flexion in cat pose. Some spinal extension in our cow. Let's do one more cat, one more cow. And then we're going to return to a neutral spine. And we're just going to do a little flowing thread the needle here. So we don't have to come all the way down to the mat. We're just taking a little bit of a twist. So we'll start with this right hand, sweeping it up. And then on your exhale, you'll take that right hand in between the left hand and left knee, just looking to a little bit of a twist. The hips stay high. And then we inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale it up. Exhale, twist. Inhale it up. Exhale, twist. All right, so on your next inhale, bring it back to neutral. And then we'll do the other side. So left arms, inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, bring it down and through. Inhale up. And exhale. 2 more on this side. And then the next time that you inhale, we'll go ahead and bring that hand back to the mat. Take the knees maybe a little bit wider and shift the hips back, coming into child's pose. So the head comes down, forehead to the mat. And if you find that your forehead doesn't comfortably come down to the floor, you can always fold your arms to rest your forehead on your arms. Or you could maybe squish up your blanket. But we just want to make sure that the forehead is resting somewhere comfortable. Because if we're working to hold up our head, it's just a little bit of a strain and we can't fully relax into this pose. So take another breath or 2 here. Seeing if you can breathe a little bit into the back body. So as you inhale, feel the back body expand. And then exhale, let things soften. On your next inhale, let's shift forward, coming to our hands and knees. And from here, we're going to move into downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, coming into this down dog position. Now, if down dog is not in your practice today for whatever reason, you can just come to a forward fold at the front of your mat. So if you're in down dog, you can pedal out the heels, perhaps. Shift a little bit side to side, maybe nod your head yes or shake it no. And then we're just going to walk the feet forward, meeting our friends in that forward fold at the front of our mats. All right. So take a moment here in forward fold, nod the head yes, shake it no, bend the knees maybe more than you think you need to. And then from here, we're going to roll all the way up to standing. Once we get up, we're going to roll the shoulders back and down. Maybe move the neck a little bit here. And then we're just going to pause. So we're going to reach gently for the floor. We're going to feel into our feet. Maybe shift the weight a little bit side to side. Now from here, we're just going to take a little side bend. So on your inhale, we'll sweep the arms up overhead. And then on your exhale, a little side bend to the right. So this right hand can come to your right hip. Or if you feel pretty good here, you can engage the core and grab that left wrist with the right hand. Couple of breaths. And then go ahead and come back to center. And then we'll do the other side. So left hand on left hip, reaching over. We're just lengthening this side body. All right, go ahead and come back to center. Arms come up. And then on your exhale, we're going to bend the elbows, take the hands wide, little cactus of the arms. So really opening through the chest here, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then on your exhale, just bring the palms and the elbows together in front. So a little bit of a rounding here. And then on your inhale, open wide. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, open. Exhale, palms together. One more like that. Inhale and open. And exhale, palms together. This time on your inhale, just open the arms wide. And we're going to cross the right arm over the left and give ourselves a little bit of a hug here. So grabbing the shoulders and starting to feel the shoulder blades kind of drawing around your back towards the front. So we can choose to stay here, just kind of grabbing the shoulders, giving ourselves this little hug. Or you could choose to come into eagle arms. So with eagle arms, we're going to start to take the hands away from the shoulders. And we can go back to back with our hands, or we can wrap them so that the palms kind of tuck around one another. So whether we're in the hug or the eagle arms, we're going to take a nice deep breath and see if we can visualize the back body expanding. So as we breathe in, feel some expansion in between the shoulder blades. And then on your exhale, feel the shoulder blades wrap a little bit closer around the front. So just a couple of breaths. Inhale into the back body and exhale. One more just like this. And then on your next inhale, you can release the arms, you can shake them out, you can roll out through the shoulders. And then we're going to do the other side. So on your inhale, we'll open the arms wide. And then we're going to cross the left arm over the right, giving ourselves that little hug once again. So just opposite arms from what we did earlier. And you can choose to stay here, giving yourself this little hug, or we can wrap the hands coming into our eagle arms the other way. So we'll take a breath or two here. Seeing if we can breathe into that back body, feeling that expansion. So nice deep breath. And exhale. Inhale, expand. Exhale. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, you can release the arms, you can move them around. And then we're going to move into those Gomukhasana arms that I talked about at the beginning of class. So if you have your strap or your scarf or whatever, you can go ahead and grab that now. And what we're going to do is take the strap into our right hand. So we'll take the right hand up, and we're going to bend the right elbow so that strap goes behind us, or at least the hand goes behind us, and we can give ourselves a little pat on the back. And then the left hand is going to slide up behind us and grab that strap. So we're working the hands close together. They might not be anywhere close to each other, and that's okay. We're just opening the shoulders here. So we'll just take a couple of breaths, thinking about reaching up with the elbow, and almost like that shoulder blade is wrapping with the right shoulder blade, wrapping up and around. Couple of breaths. Trying to stand up as tall as we can and reach that elbow up towards the ceiling as much as we can. Everybody has different mobility in their shoulders, so just work with your range of motion today. All right, so from here, you're going to let go of the strap with the right hand. Just keep it in the left. And we're going to take this right hand now behind us and see if we can catch this left wrist. So we're just kind of drawing that arm across the body. If that doesn't feel good, you can just leave the right arm down by your side. All right. Now from here, we're going to take the chin to the chest, and we're going to roll the right ear over towards the right shoulder, so away from the left shoulder. So we're expanding this space between the left shoulder and the left ear. Just a couple of breaths. So if you've got that left wrist with the right hand, you have this little chicken wing. So we're leaning towards the chicken wing side for a breath or two. All right, go ahead and release. You can keep that strap into the left arm, but maybe move around a little bit here. And then we're going to take this left hand up. We're going to bend the left elbow, take that hand behind your back, and then slide that right hand up. So coming to these Gomukhasana arms the other way. So standing up nice and tall,
grabbing that strap with both hands. And just taking a couple of breaths here, thinking about this shoulder blade. It's going to lift up and it's going to wrap up and around. So a couple of breaths here. All right, now from here, go ahead and release the strap from the left hand. And we're going to slide that left hand behind our back and see if we can grab that right wrist with the left hand. So like this. So we've got the chicken wing on the left side and the right elbow is pretty close to the body. And then from here, we're going to take the chin to the chest and then roll that left ear over to the left. So away from the right shoulder, getting that stretch the other way. Couple of deep breaths. The neck, you can move the arms, you can drop that strap. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to take the feet wide. So if you're facing the front of your mat, step back with the right foot or whatever foot you need so that you can still see the screen. And we're going to take the feet wide. We're going to come into a wide-legged forward bend. So we're just going to fold forward, bending the knees as much as you need to. And taking a moment here, maybe the toes turn out a little bit, and we're just going to shift a little bit side to side. Now the hips can stay high here. You can go a little bit lower if that works in your body. And then from here, just go ahead and come back to center. And pause in this forward bend. Take a moment, nod your head yes, shake it no. And then from here, we're going to make our way to a seat. So walk yourself towards the front of your mat, make your way down, and we'll just take those legs out in front. So going to just do a little bit of a twist here. So we're going to start with bringing the right knee in and bringing it into a point where you can still sit up nice and tall. And you might want your blanket or towel for this if that allows you to kind of sit up a little bit taller and move a little easier. Feel free to lift your hips up on that blanket. But from here, with the knee in and sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take the left arm and reach it up. And then we're going to use our core to twist to the right. Right, left hand can come to this right knee. You can tuck it into your elbow. Or if it were available to you, you could tuck that elbow on the outside of the knee, but you don't have to. We're all about learning how to listen to our bodies and figure out what works the best in your practice, especially a home practice like this. Nobody's watching. You can do whatever feels good to you in this moment. No judgment. All right. Let's take another breath here. Sitting up as tall as we can in this twist. And then go ahead and come back to center. Extend the opposite leg. Extend that right leg. Bring the left knee in. Sit up nice and tall. Same thing. Inhale, right arm up. And on your exhale, you'll twist to the left and choose how deep you'd like to go here. Hand on knee, tucked into elbow, or tuck the elbow on the outside of the knee. Take a couple of breaths. And then go ahead and come back to center. Extend the legs, scoot forward on your mat, and just roll all the way down onto your back. Hug the knees in, rock a little side to side. And then we'll make our way into a little reclining pigeon pose. Just Students often have a love-hate relationship with this pose, but when we do it on our back, you can decide how deep you'd like to go. So we're going to start with the right foot. Flex the right foot, bend the right knee, take that right ankle on top of your left knee. This already feels like a big stretch, stay here. If you'd like more, you can bring the left knee closer to you, maybe grabbing behind the knee or around the shin. Or you can also choose to do an active pigeon here. Just take a couple of breaths. You can go ahead and release this foot down and just take a moment, rock the knees a little bit side to side. If it feels good to go all the way down to the left, you can, taking it into a little bit of a twist. Maybe that right arm reaches overhead. Just a breath or two. And then when you're ready, go ahead and come back, unfold the legs. And we'll switch sides. So flexing the left foot, bringing that left ankle on top of the right knee. Finding your way into this pose. You could stay here. If you just need a little extra, you can slide that foot in just a little bit. You could bring it into either an active pigeon, no hands, or this bound pigeon here. Breath or two. And when you're ready, you'll begin to bring that right foot down if it was up. And then just let everything rock a little bit side to side. Just moving into the hips in a slightly different way. Just allowing the body to explore. Maybe taking everything down over to the right just for a couple of breaths. Go ahead and come back to center. You can unfold the legs, hug the knees into your chest. Take the next moment or two to do any other pose or stretch that might feel good. That could be a spinal twist. Or maybe it's a happy baby. Or even just knees wide, hugging into your chest. Or maybe you begin to simply make yourself comfortable for final relaxation. So extending the legs long, relaxing the arms down, the toes just fall out to the side. And just beginning to soften onto your mat. The beauty of this home practice is that you can stay here as long as you'd like. So until next time, thank you for sharing your energy and your practice today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.